What's good, y'all? Back with another video, and as you see by the title, we're going to be talking about games that are stuck on the PlayStation Vita. The PlayStation Vita has so many great games, but there are a good handful that are literally stuck on the Vita. They're exclusive, they haven't been anywhere else, any other platforms, and today we're going to be highlighting those games, and they're definitely worth a try. But yeah, y'all know me, I don't waste too much time with these long intros. I'm excited to hop into these games. We have 5 games today to show y'all, so yeah, let's not waste too much time. Let's hop into it. Hopping over to my PlayStation Vita, the first game we're going to be talking about today is probably the most known one, and that is Uncharted Golden Abyss. You cannot go wrong with the Uncharted series. I just love Uncharted. Nathan Drake is one of the best characters of all time in my opinion, and the stories in the Uncharted games are close to peak gaming, and it's pretty much as best as it gets. Obviously this is a PlayStation Vita Uncharted game, so you're not going to get the full experience as a AAA, or I mean this is a AAA game, but you're not going to get that experience as if you were on a full console. But this game does kind of look like a PS3 game, which is what you would expect from the PlayStation Vita, but you still have everything that makes Uncharted. You got Nathan Drake and all his sarcastic, little mentions. You have the gameplay, which is essentially the same as the console version, and you have this story that you go on this adventure and you're trying to find a certain treasure, and you know how these Uncharted games go. Something gets in your way and you have to get around it, or somebody stabs your back, you have to get around it. You already know how these twists usually go in the Uncharted games, but nevertheless, this is a phenomenal game, and if you haven't played Uncharted Golden Abyss, what are you doing? Especially if you're an Uncharted fan, this is definitely a must. Next game that we're going to talk about is Killzone Mercenary. I'm surprised this one is stuck on the PlayStation Vita. They did make Killzone, I believe it was Shadowfall, on the PlayStation 4, but something about Mercenary was just breathtaking. To have this on a PlayStation Vita was actually insane. The cutscenes looked phenomenal, looked like a PS3 game, which that's what I'm expecting from these Vita games. Some of these don't look as good, but hey, some of these AAA games look phenomenal. Like, look at this gameplay. This is on a 11-year-old console, 12-year-old console. It's kind of crazy to think about, but yeah, from the graphics, from the gameplay feels like a really smooth and pure first-person shooter. In my opinion, this may be the best first-person shooter on the PlayStation Vita. You have the dual analog sticks, which makes this game nice and simple to use, and it feels like you were playing a regular console FPS. And not only do the Killzone games have some phenomenal gameplay, they do have a decent story behind it as well. So if you're a fan of FPS games and you want to hop into this campaign, I definitely recommend Killzone Mercenary. The third game we're going to be talking about, which is a pretty known one on the PlayStation Vita, and that is Tearaway. This is, yes, stuck on the PlayStation Vita. They made a game kind of like it, or I think it was a sequel, maybe like some type of remaster converted to the PS4. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I'll go ahead and pop it on the screen. But this game in specific, the original Tearaway, is stuck on the PlayStation Vita, and this is a nice unique platformer, and it uses the PlayStation Vita abilities a lot. You have to use the back screen, you have to do a lot of slides. It uses the PlayStation Vita camera a lot, so it's a pretty unique platformer, and I heard great things. I believe this is one I haven't actually fully played myself, but I've heard some great things, and the ratings do not lie. So if you're in the mood for a platformer on the PlayStation Vita and want a unique experience, Tearaway is definitely one you want to look into. Next, which is one I hear hated on a lot, and I mean I know why. It's Silent Hill Book of Memories, which this one is obviously stuck on the PlayStation Vita, and this bad boy isn't going anywhere because this Silent Hill game wasn't received the best. And I know why. It's definitely a different type of Silent Hill game. It's not the simple third person. You have, these really creepy environments and everything like that. This was more of, I don't really know. It was definitely different. It didn't really feel too much like a Silent Hill game, but nevertheless, it was still a solid horror game, and it's very dark. As you're going to see on screen, it's honestly hard to even see what's going on, but it's definitely an interesting horror game, and it has a lot of elements like Silent Hill that you have to find certain keys to unlock certain doors. You have to kill a handful of enemies, and let's just say these enemies aren't very nice. As you know, in Silent Hill games, they usually have a unique style to their enemies. They have unique characters that are kind of awkward and unique, that make it even more scary than it really should be. This game follows through with that, and yeah, it's just another Silent Hill game to add to your list of Silent Hill games to play. And I'm a pretty decent Silent Hill fan, so I definitely was excited to see this on the PlayStation Vita, and I definitely recommend it. And last but definitely not least, we have another first-person shooter on the PlayStation Vita, and that is Resistance Burning Skies. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the last Resistance game that has ever been released. As you know, there was Resistance 1, 2, and 3 on the PS3, and then they dropped this one in, I believe, 2012. ish around that area, and I believe this is the last Resistance game that has ever came out. So if you're a Resistance fan, this is a must, and this is stuck on the PlayStation Vita. This is a unique one because, as you saw in the beginning, you start as like a firefighter, and you have this story as you as a firefighter. Then an apocalypse happens, you know, takes out your fellow firefighter friends, and it's definitely an interesting one. As you see on the screen, my man is down and knocked out. This is not good to see. And yeah, in this apocalypse, these enemies pop up, which kind of is the same theme as in Resistance games. These enemies look the same, but hey, just know these enemies are very good. That's why they keep on using it in all these different Resistance games. But yeah, this is another first-person shooter that I could definitely recommend. If you enjoy Killzone Mercenary, definitely give this one a try. From gameplay, I say Killzone is slightly better, but I think this one's story is definitely good. So I think, you know, it has a good balance to both of them. So if you're a first-person shooter fan, definitely give both of these a try, and hey, who knows which one you would like more. And those are my 5 games that are stuck on the PlayStation Vita that I think you need to give a try. We have a couple first-person shooters with Resistance, as well as Killzone Mercenary. We have a survival horror game with, you know, Silent Hill Book of Memories. We have a platformer. We have a little bit of everything. We even got Uncharted, a first-party action game, which, you know, who doesn't like Uncharted? But yeah, man, we have a ton of goodies on the PlayStation Vita. I might be able to make another video to this, so let me know in the comments if y'all will be interested in that. But y'all already know what we do here. Hit that like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all doing all that YouTube stuff. I'm gonna try to get a video out for y'all this Saturday, so make sure y'all stay tuned. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this one, and I'll see y'all next time.